Now, what are the different types of water available right now? How many of you can go down to the nearest river and collect the water and then probably get down and then drink the water? In fact, I have one of my good friend who stays in Rawang, and what he has done is he has actually connected a pipe all the way from a nearest water fountain, and I think he paid quite a bit of money for bringing that particular water down to his home down there, personalized pipe bringing down that water, and then it gets filtered, and then of course he gets the. Now, how many of us can do this? Get the river water or the water from the nearest falls and to your home. Not everyone will have that facility, and not everyone also can have that kind of money for us to get that kind of water. Then we are having the spring water, then the glacier water, well water. Now, well water, you just imagine you're living in a city and you dig a well and then you want to drink water. It is totally a polluted water you're going to get. Then, of course, once again, you need to filter and then put a proper filtration system to get the water. And oasis, of course, we cannot get down here anywhere nearby. These are all the natural sources. But on the other side, living in a city, we do can get a filtered water, we do can get a distilled water, we do can get mineral water, bottled mineral water, we can get an ionized water, which wherein an ionization, wherein the water goes through the machine and then it comes out as an alkaline water and acid water. And of course, the pH can be varied of that particular water. Now, these are all good for our system, wherein people who can buy those kind of machines, it's quite expensive, but they can buy the machine and then, get an ionized water is good. And there are a lot of situations where I have done a lot of experiments on magnetized water, ozonization of the water, when you ozonate, and most of the time the bacteria, everything gets killed in an ozonized water. But you need to understand that if you're having an ozonator at home where you're ozonating the water, it is good for especially removing the pollutants from your vegetables and your animal meat products. You can actually clean it through ozonization. In fact, the ozonized air is also a very, very important way of cleansing your atmosphere from all the organisms, viruses. You can ozonate your room with an ozonator. There is a bulb available, and then it's quite expensive, almost around 1,500 to 2,000 ringgits for an ozonated bulb, wherein when you on it, the whole O3, it's oxygen 3 actually, O3, you can get inside your room, and that it's actually, you will smell as though when there is a fresh rain coming down, you will feel that, you will have that ozone smell of the air. Now you can get it done. Other than the ozonated water, we have the structured water. Structured water has been in the market for almost 15 to 20 years. And out of that, EMRET technology, wherein magnetic resonance technology has been there in the market for almost 20 years. And then a lot of people are using this EMRET technology, and there are a lot of research and scientific backup has been done with the EMRET technology. And EMRET technology water, your water molecule size will be around 7.82 hertz, which is called the Schumann's energy molecule size, and that is where it's talking about the nature. And then we have the latest one, what you and I, we are all using is a terahertz resonated water, wherein they use the terahertz resonating chip inside our resonator, and then that in turn emits the radiation to the water, and that in turn changes the molecular structure of the water so that it becomes a structured water. So ultimately what you need to understand is what we have in our terahertz device is basically a resonator, which in turn will break down the molecule and it will make your water molecule more structured. Structured means basically it has a proper formation of the molecules, which helps in terms of absorption, which helps in terms of your cellular function. There's a lot of good benefits you can get from a structured water. Now, those days, like before the terahertz was introduced, the Emret technology, of course, that also is a structured water. Now, magnetization of water also is a structured water. Ozonization also is a structured water. And when you put the water into a pebbles down a tube, also it becomes a structured water. And when you rotate the water in a vortex, that means there's a motor down there, it revolves, and that also we call it the vortex machine, wherein it revolves the water, and that also creates a structured water. So there are a lot of methods available in the market where you can make a structured water. And of course, chanting of hymns, chanting of mantras, chanting of certain verses also will help the water molecule to become structured. Now, these are all being used in a lot of religious faculties, and people are using blessed water. And there are a lot of other areas where people are using the structured water for healing benefits, healing of cancer or any major illnesses. There are a lot of people using this structured water. So ultimately, it is the structured water which is being used to help your body in terms of healing. See, at the end of the day, we all want our body to heal. Now, if you're a healthy individual, most of the time, 99% of the world population, we will not be healthy. It's only 1% of the world population wherein they live healthy and they will die healthy, or they will leave the body in a healthy atmosphere. But other than that, most of us go through a little bit of challenges in whatever little ways, in the form of genetically bringing down some diseases, or because of you're living in a city that's where you're able to, exposed to certain diseases. Maybe sometimes you are not a smoker, but the pollution outside is fully filled with smokers. Now, how are you going to prevent that? How are you going to tell the people who are all smoking as to not to smoke, because of smoking, there are a lot of hazards which we all face. But the whole world, there are a lot of smokers out down there, and then they won't even think of what they are doing. Actually, they are harming themselves. They are in turn harming the other people as well. But at the end of the day, what you and I need to do is, let's work on towards, in whatever little ways, let's do what we can do in the best possible way, so that we don't harm ourselves, we don't harm other people as well. That is what is very, very important. So what is an ideal drinking water for everyone? Now, we are not looking at the structured water. We are just looking at water basically. It should be clean, definitely, and it should be safe enough for everyone to drink. It should be potable. That means it's to be drinkable and easily available. Now, when you're looking at all this possibility, it is, of course, the responsibility of the concerned governments to, give us a potable water. And WHO has, of course, looking at the best possible way wherein they want to give clean drinking water. In spite of all the policies and programs, we still, I said, 60% of the people, world's population, are still not having a clean, safe drinking water. But added to that, if there is a possibility of the pH of the water, which has to be between 7.5 or 8 or 9 maximum, when alkalinity goes up to 9, is still okay. But we won't be able to get a 9 pH without, probably either using an ionization, or we are using some other natural alkaline methods of making the water alkaline. But other than that, your normal tap water will be around 7.5 pH. And your total dissolved content in your water, that means even in spite of filtration, if you can get a plus 200 TDS, total dissolved solvents in your water, is absolutely good enough. But you can't have a totally zero TDS, because if you're having a zero TDS, there will be a lot of problems in terms of our kidney functioning, our cellular functioning also will be hampered if you don't have a proper TDS. That means there must be mineral content in your water. It should be there. Then at the end of the day, you need to have oxidation reduction potential of the water molecule, because it should be able to give you a extra oxygen molecule. That means you need to have an extra oxygen molecule in the water so that it can donate one electron into your system, because there is a lot of what is that? The damage happening, free radical damage happening in your system. And water is one of the ways of which can act like an antioxidant, and that in turn can give a donation of an electron, that is your oxidation reduction potential, where it donates one electron of oxygen, which will help you to recoup the free radical damage, and that should be minus 200. Now, these are all a standard protocol if there is a possibility for you to have all this situation where you get a good ORP with the total dissolved content, with the mineral content of around plus 200. It's good for you. But if it is not, you have to add upon into your, there are a lot of products available in the market wherein the ocean, wherein it's a concentrated liquid available in the market where you just put few drops into your water. It will automatically mineralize your water. So the mineral content with trace elements are minimum of around 70 to 80. These are all look small, but these small minerals plays a very important role in terms of your cellular function. See, at the end of the day, we all are looking at the cellular function. So for which you need to have an ideal drinking water. Now, what is so great about structured water? Structured water are also known as an hexagon water. I think most of you would have seen in Causeway where they call hexagon water system. So they were also promoting the filtered water, and then when the water comes out of the filtration system, they call it as an hexagonal water because it's a hexagon shape. And if you had seen our Dr. Emoto's research on water molecules, so most of the structured water which Dr. Emoto has been photographed, and then he was showing you the miracle water of healing, it's all hexagon shape. And especially chanting of mantras, saying I love you to the water, it becomes a hexagon shape. And the music, when you use a flute music, or you're using a saxophone, or you're using a guitar, or you're using a veena, all these instruments in turn creating a vibration, which in turn changes the frequency of the water, and it becomes a structured water. So structured water, also known as a hexagon water, refers to the water molecule that forms a hexagon cluster. Now, in today's latest terminologies, there are a lot of people using easy water. Dr. Pollack, and he's the one who talks about the fourth phase of water. And there are a lot of good benefits about the easy water, and a lot of good things about this easy water has been spoken, and you all can go onto the YouTube and look into it. Now, hexagonal water, the energized water, the magnetized water, the ozonated water, everything ultimately we are all looking at the structured water. So now what we do is, what are the benefits of getting a structured water?